Okay, so the struggle continues, Dr. Umar Johnson. Here's how the struggle continues. Now, I've done a research and I'm tearing down the internet, the website. I'm all over internet, and you have some people who are actually coming up with some allegations. It's alleged that, Dr. Umar Johnson, and they're actually putting you in the category of some black pastors who are actually scamming, the members and so forth. And they are actually saying that, you have raised thousands of dollars in aid of this school, and they haven't yet to see the structure or the layout of the school. Now, what are they talking about? Transparency and so forth?
That may be what they're talking about, but I don't know how they can make those accusations because everyone knows exactly where the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy is. You can Google it, okay? It's on MapQuest. It's on Google Maps. It's everywhere. So there's no secret to the school. People have been to the school. They have toured the school. I'm listed as the owner of the school, or should I say the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy Incorporated. So the school exists. The school exists, and it is a 4-building structure in Wilmington, Delaware, beautiful place that we're going to make the home of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. But let me back up and let me explain why you see this type of coonery going on in the black community. When I first kicked in the door and took over the Black Conscious Movement, becoming its most requested scholar, and still am 10 years later, okay, so I'm closing out my first decade, my second decade overall, because from 2000 to 2010, I was struggling in the state of Pennsylvania with the Garvey movement. 2010 to 2020, that's when I went international with the message and the movement, taking over the conscious movement. What happened was, from 2000 to 2015, 15 years,
yes,
I barely, if ever, accepted money to do lectures. All my lectures were free. You just had to get me there. I did not charge.
And that was for 15 years?
Yes, for 15 years.
Okay.
15 years. But as the request to speak continued to increase, I had to make a decision. Either I had to cut back on the speaking and traveling because it was beginning to affect my professional work as a certified school psychologist.
Okay.
So I wasn't able to earn an income the traditional way because I was constantly being called away to help and to speak. So I had to make a decision. Cut back on the traveling or cut back on your career. I chose to cut back on the career. In doing that, I had to start charging for my events. Like everybody else been doing, but I've been doing it for free for 15 years. So of these 20 years, I've only charged for 5 of 20. From 2000 to 2020, I've only been charging the last 5 years. The first 15 years were free. People made money off me, but I made no money off myself. But then, what happened in 2015, I decided to start charging. And I decided to stop letting people take advantage of me financially. I cut out the middleman. And I started doing my own events. It's just like if you're an entertainer signed to a label, you cut out the label, you go independent, they're going to be upset because they can no longer make money off you. At that same time, I started raising money for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. And I was able to raise more money than most of the hustlers in the conscious community have been able to raise. So jealousy kicked in because they couldn't understand why the people is giving Dr. Umar Johnson almost $1 million for the school when I can't even get a couple thousand. And the answer to that is those Negroes were not serious. Most of them were not raising money for things that would benefit the community. They wanted money for themselves. That was the difference. I was raising money for our children. And so the jealousy kicked in twofold. On the one hand, he cutting us out the lecture money. And on the other hand, they are alleging that I cut them out the fundraiser money because everybody was donating to Dr. Umar, not to everybody else. So that's where the jealousy came from, brother. They couldn't hustle me on the lectures, and they couldn't hustle the people for the fundraiser because of FDMG. And that's why you see what you see now.
Okay.
And a lot of the negativity.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest with you. Let me say this. I do not believe that 99% of these detractors actually believe I'm hustling the people. I don't believe that at all.
I don't believe it either.
I believe that they know I'm sincere, and I believe they are scared shitless that I'm going to succeed in my mission. And they don't want to see that because once that school is open, okay, Once that school is open, everything they've ever claimed, alleged, they've already been defeated anyway, my brother, because they said there would be no school. Remember that. They said there would be no school.
Right.
We have the school. So they've already been defeated. But as you know, sore losers, they had to reinvent the campaign. So the campaign went from he won't get a school to he won't open a school. You see the difference?
Yes.
First it was he won't get no school. Now it's he won't open a school. But they are afraid because once the school opens, none of them will be allowed in school. In there. None of them will be allowed inside, ever.
I see that. No, you know, one of the thing is, I see all the attacks that coming at you. And the funniest thing, Dr. Umar, these are people of our complexion. That's what I saw. Most of the attacks that coming at you are our own people with our own pigment in their skin, just as well. Black people
Jealousy,
like ourselves.
Absolute jealousy. I mean, it's no different than what Garvey, my life is so identical to the most honorable, the right excellent Mosiah Garvey. It's amazing. I mean, we're both Leos, born the same week of Leo. We both come in and take over. Garvey came, he just took over. It didn't matter what the Moors were talking about. It didn't matter what the church was talking about. It didn't matter what W.E.B. Du Bois was talking about, the socialists was talking about. Garvey went straight to the top, took it over, and he was unrivaled in his following and his support. It's no different with me. In fact, what they hate the most about me is the love I get from the people. Why do you think they got to make a video a day? Why do you have to make a video a day about somebody who you claim is a hustler? Don't you think the people can see that?
Right.
They got to make a video a day because the love, there is no one in the Black Conscious Movement in the world, on the planet Earth, who has the type of support that I have. Nobody even comes close. It's just like Garvey 100 years later. Nobody comes close. Nobody comes close to my scholarship. Nobody comes close to the amount of videos I got on YouTube, brother, and I don't even have a channel of my own. Wow. Did you hear that? Wow. I have more videos on YouTube than any scholar walking this earth. I'm going to say it again. I have more videos on YouTube than any black scholar walking this earth alive today, and I don't even promote myself on YouTube.
Wow. Look at that.
That shows you the love I get from the people. Then you come to the education. I have more formal education than anyone else in the Black Conscious Movement. I'm invited to speak around the world more than anyone in the conscious movement. I speak out the country more than most of them speak in the country. I speak out the country more than most of them speak in the country. So when you look at the statistics, you see why the jealousy is, in the most amazing stat is I have not been endorsed by the white power structure.
Right.
I'm not Cornel West. I'm not Al Shah. I come with none of that. I'm not a Boule. I'm not a Greek. I'm not a Shriner. I'm not an elk. I don't belong to no gay society. I am a free black man up and down. And they say, how? I was on the Breakfast Club last week. A million views in 4 days, and they didn't even promote it. 1 million views in 4 days, and they didn't even promote it.
Wow.
So it's unquestioned where I am. When they write the history of the 21st century, the first quarter, from 2000 to 2025, when they write the history of the first quarter of the 21st century, for our people, my name would be at the top of the list, hands down.
Wow, I'm loving that.
I don't know what's coming the second quarter. I don't know what's coming the third quarter. I don't know what's coming the fourth quarter, because we'll be ancestors by that time. But this first quarter will be the quarter of Ifatunde.
I love that confidence, my brother. Trust me, and that's what we need going forward, especially in 2020. Now, have you been endorsed by any of the black leaders?
Like who?
Like Al Sharpton, for one.
Al Sharpton not going to do. My message totally contradicts his message.
Okay.
They funded by white folks. No black leader funded by white folks is ever going to endorse me.
Wow.
They're not going to do it.
They're not.
I'm not safe.
Even though the movements that you are on right now is such a positive movements, and you can see where it can uplift our people.
But the thing about it, I really don't need the endorsements because I got the streets.
Okay.
I'm the only scholar I know of in American history. In American history I'm the only scholar I know of who gets the same respect as a rapper from the streets. I'm the only one I know.
Wow.
I get the same following as a rapper would. I get the same support, the same views, the same everything. I don't know of other scholar, university-trained doctor who gets that type of street credibility. There's no one else alive who gets the street credibility I get. I can go to any hood in the world and be accepted and protected. I can walk the streets in any ghetto on the planet Earth and be accepted, respected, and protected. I don't know of another scholar who had that at my age before in this country.
Man, I'm telling you this though, I see the power that you have when you went to Jamaica in August the 25th of 2016 and the reception.
You saw what happened? You saw what happened?
I saw that. I saw that. And one of the things I can tell you, prior to you going there, a group, which is a church group, who actually invited Mr. T.D. Jakes to go to Jamaica. He didn't show up because they didn't have the money that he wanted to show.
Exactly. I came for free, my brother.
That was the difference. That was the difference.
I didn't charge a penny, and from what I was told, that was the most powerful message they ever heard at one of the Irie FM Marcus Garvey celebrations in Ochos. I still get messages from brothers and sisters in Jamaica about that. In fact, when I was at Muta Baruka in the Bahamas, summer of 18, one of the brothers approached me and said that they may have wanted to bring me back for a follow-up to do it again, but I didn't hear back from the radio station. But, man, I mean, people don't like to give people credit, but I already know what I mean to this movement. I tell people all the time, if I never opened the school, and we will,
right.
But if I never opened the school, let's say the school never happened, who has done more to save black boys from the school-to-prison pipeline? Who has done more to re-energize Pan-Africanism around the world? Who has done more to bring black people conscious about the weapons of psychology and eugenics, black consciousness as a whole? Who has done more to make black women love their black skin and give up their weaves and go natural? Who has done more to motivate black people to open up their own businesses? I mean, even if I never opened the school, my place in our struggle is solidified.
Wow, I'm loving that. You actually own a legacy right now, as is.
Own it.
I'm telling you.
I don't say that to brag, but when you hear the hate, sometimes you got to be, wait a minute, let me remind y'all about a couple things. Before me, people weren't talking Pan-Africanism since Garvey's time in this country. And around the continent, it wasn't as strong as it is now. Even in Africa, I brought that back. There were others, but nobody as strong as me. None of them.
True.
Who before me taught these parents about special ed and ADHD and psychiatric medication? Who? They didn't know that. They didn't know that the learning disability was an opinion. I taught them that. They didn't know that before me. I mean, there's so many things. Look at all the black women who are natural. Do you know how many emails I get, bro? How many emails I get a month from black women saying, Dr. Umar, because of you, I'm natural now?
Wow.
I got black men who leaving white girls for black women because of my work. They can't talk to me.
I liking that. It's bringing awareness to the front of the table, my brother. And that's what you're doing, Dr. Umar Johnson. You're actually bringing awareness to a nation that has been speechless for years. A nation that feels like anything that they do and say comes second to another group. A nation that feels like they are minority because they have been called that way for years. That's the problem.
See, here's our central dilemma. The central dilemma we have as a people globally is we don't want to admit that we're going to have to take back what's rightfully ours.
Yes.
The same way it was taken from us. The scariest thing for African people on the 6 continents to admit is that we will not fix our situation unless we take back what was stolen the way it was stolen. Wow. In other words, there is no democratic solution to white supremacy. There is no religious solution to white supremacy. And we keep trying to find ways around the reality of racism. Look at police genocide in America, right? If you notice, none of the politicians are talking about what they're going to do about police genocide, because there's no democratic solution to end that. There's no march, there's no praying that's going to stop that. The only way the police are going to stop killing black folks is if black folks make it clear that from now on, your blood for my blood. That's the only way it's going to stop.
Wow.
The only way it's going to stop is they have to know that your blood will be spilled along with my blood. See, all these people I just named who were murdered,
yes,
nobody died. Nobody died for their execution. Nobody died. Nobody suffered for Malcolm's death. Nobody suffered for King's death. Nobody suffered for Amilcar Cabral's death, Thomas Sankar's death, Patrice Lumumba, Bob Marley's death. Nobody suffered for these brothers' deaths.
Did anyone was punished for it, like had been incarcerated for it?
Maybe in a few cases, but mostly no. Unsolved murders, allegedly, right?
Wow.
Same thing with Tupac Shakur,
right,
Christopher Wallace. Unsolved murder. First of all, whenever you get an unsolved murder, that means the government did it.
Right.
Whenever you hear of an unsolved murder, the government did it.
Wow.
You see. So we have to recondition the police. Black people have to do it. Say, listen, from now on, when our blood spills, your blood spills. That's the only way you're going to stop it. It will stop no other way.
All right, my bond is
Mark my words, 1,000 years from now, they'll still be killing us in the streets. It must be blood for blood. Until it gets to that point, they'll never stop killing us.
All right, so, of course, Selassie did a speech,